July 1st, 2022. I'm watching um, uh, Channel 7 ABC. And on it, it has this Northwell health emblem. Now, I've had several problems with this particular hospital. It used to be called Long Island Jewish. That was the local area name, and it was in Manhasset. Same place where I gave birth to Benjamin. They broke the table, and this color nursing staff was in the room. I have a preference not to be touched by them, but yet here I am delivering my first son, and they're swarming the room. They're not even adhering to the fact that I don't want you touching me. I don't want you near me. You're not RH negative, and you don't belong anywhere near my birthing facility. And what did they do after I got an epidural is this color disconnected the table from birthing to afterbirth and dropped my body like a sack of potatoes on the floor and then left me there for hours. Wasn't hours. Felt like hours. I couldn't get up, couldn't move. I was paralyzed. My arms and my legs were paralyzed because of the epidural and the way that it was placed. I just had my first son. I was around all of the staff that I can't even call out for help. And I have to wait now for them to go get more people. And they don't even, customer care, they don't have any. They were really nasty. So I'm in this hospital. It's my first birthing. I have no parents that are useful whatsoever. It's called Long Island Jewish at the time, but they're not Jewish. I have no idea how they got into or employed by a Jewish facility. It's New York. Where is the legalities here on keeping the facility blood specific? So they dropped the table. They dropped me on the floor. I had to wait for a table to be fixed and for them to pick me up off the floor, clean me up, and then prepare me so I could actually see my son. This is what being dragged in real time, dragged behind a crazy donkey from 1976 feels like for me. I then just recently, because I moved away, I refused to go back. I eventually had Daniel and then Alexander there in whatever. But the just recently, an ambulance arrived. I had no idea why. Just took me out of the house. I wasn't yelling. I was sitting in my room. And takes me onto this ambulance to this particular hospital again. And that's where same color people, just slightly lighter shade of not me, not us, inject me with some kind of needle and knock me out. And then I wake up in the middle of the hospital administration area. I don't know how long afterwards. I don't know how much time passed. I didn't give them permission. They just picked me up at my house without permission, without paperwork, and took me to this same facility. Now I'm seeing that they're giving the staff that doesn't belong in whatever, but is now infiltrated the hospital system, a Medal of Freedom, talking about human banking process in this fraudulent criminal enterprise that they're functioning within. Same color people When I was trying to get a nursing degree, all of a sudden, all the jobs were filled before I even graduated because they had a staffing agency somewhere that rounded up like a whole country's worth or island's worth of them and then put them inside the city somewhere and started staffing the hospitals with them. Who's in charge? Why is this happening? And who is standing by doing nothing and allowing it? How do you allow them to go into somebody's private home, grab them, put them in an ambulance, transport them to a hospital, and then stick them with needles? And I have no idea what other procedures they did while I was there. I wasn't awake for it. And I don't exactly have a New York State advocate that works on my behalf that I can see face to face. But yet in world landscape, this is happening in the state of New York within the United States of America. And then I see on the TV, they're honoring the president is giving her a Medal of Freedom. Are you all fucking crazy?
Well, a local hero will be getting the most prestigious award given to an American civilian. Sandra Lindsay is being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She, you may recall, is the nurse at Long Island Jewish Medical Center and was the first person in the country.
These symbolic gestures, the news report even calls it Long Island Jewish, is a big problem. What's even a bigger problem is now Disney World and the Disney brand somehow has these shareholders and employees through some version of criminalization in America, in the Americas, being a hemisphere. And there's some really shady shit going on, and it's compromising safety of specific field humans that are having other issues at the same time. But very specific issues are not being addressed properly. They're being given medals of freedom. They're being given shares of companies. They're being flown all over the world and treated like royalty, while the rest of us in endangered species are having some real serious problems.
To receive a COVID vaccine back in December of 2020. Lindsay is among 17 people, including actor Denzel Washington and gymnast Simone Biles, who will be honored at the White House next week. Meanwhile, a big day for Broadway.
I can't support someone who keeps acting like this on the television and handing the awards out. You're in a White House. At what point do you grow a backbone and say, enough's enough, this isn't right? You're hurting and abusing children that look like me, could have been birthed from my wife, could be related to me somehow, and stand up and protect the kids that are being hurt. I'm just curious, at what point, party lines aside, forget the crazy donkey, forget the elephant, where is my protective unit? And at the same time, just a couple of stories move forward. It shows this guy at that label called Bobby Bonilla Day. Is this more extortion techniques to remind the public that enemy number one looks like this, gets a check cut to it, and that the guy that's supposed to be in charge of your freedom and protecting your children is handing out medals of freedom to them and cutting them checks while there's no jobs or future for your own children? I'm just curious. How is this story getting written for the future? Where do we belong if it's no longer in New York? Was there like a mezzanine, like they got up and left the theater? Well, how on earth do you call yourself a veteran or military if you left a man and a female behind? And a female with children, no less. There was no warning. There was no, this doesn't look right. There's no, like, this is on the horizon. There's no, keep yourself and your children safe. There was nothing. How honorable are those people? They're not. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way universe, galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. Here, listen to this story.
We would like to wish everyone a happy Bobby Bonilla Day, right? We're all celebrating. The Mets pay the former slugger nearly $1.2 million every July 1st and will continue doing so until 2035. Bonilla has been collecting checks for the Mets since 2011. The Mets agreed to this installment plan instead of a contract buyout. And
what does that even mean? Who's in charge of these things? Who knows about these things? Who's involved in these things? Because they don't teach it at the school that I was held captive in for 13 years that had some responsibility to inform me. And so I can inform my children within their life frame what to expect and how to negotiate and make it through. And yet it wasn't explained by or to my parents that I'm aware of. Not that they were allowed to speak to me about, if that's the case. And my children did not learn within their life frame about what the hell any of this means that I'm aware of and that they've had a conversation with me about.
And the fifth.
But 2035 seems like a really long time for something that's not being spoken of in the public.
The 58-year-old hasn't played for the Mets since 1999.
He doesn't even play baseball. Since Benjamin arrived, he has not played baseball. So since 1999, when the crazy donkey attached me to its fucking ass and started dragging me, the 1976 version no less, through a life frame where death is a better option, this guy's been getting paid.
He last played in the majors in 2001. Met owner Stephen Cohen tweeted this morning, I hope everyone is enjoying my favorite day of the year, Bobby Bonilla Day.
Somehow I don't think we're all celebrating as much as Bobby Bonilla.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm just saying.
Maybe friends and cousins and acquaintances of Bobby Bonilla
Exactly.
around this time. Hey, happy 4th.
Exactly.
Happy 1st.
Well, more trouble for the Daily Harvest. Coming up, the latest fallout after several people.
Lewis informs me that at some point there's some relative that we have who actually showed up and attended the Crazy Donkey 1976 wedding in 1999. And he was fresh out of prison. He was the president of the Teamsters. And somehow he was family, just family that I didn't know we had, or somehow married in our family. But he was an attendee at the Crazy Donkey, tie up and dragged me through. Just so Tony and Tina understands what a Tina looks like, being that it's Tony, and it's actually a Jason from 1976 that I never wanted anything to do with. But I have a feeling president of Teamsters, a prison sentence, and like a really disgusting drag through 4 decades has some tie-in together, which is why things look so fucking shitty around here. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way universe, galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.